Dee, are you there? Please, I promise to let you live at your family's house again if you will just please take care of your mom. I can't stand living with her anymore. Whoa, Lauren, where is this all coming from all of a sudden? Are you not getting along with my mom? You've heard from your brother about how your mom is starting to show signs of dementia, right? Well, lately those signs have been getting really, really bad, and I just don't know what to do, but I can't stand having to take care of her now. Yes, of course I knew that Mom was starting to go like that, but I didn't realize that it had been getting worse. I really am at my limit already. Please, you have to come back and take care of her. I mean, you're her real daughter, not me. You should have been doing this from the start. I understand what you're saying, but you and my brother said you would live with my parents, right? I remember you saying how much you loved their house and how happy you would be to get to stay there. So then we all talked about it, I had to move out, and you and Marcus started living there instead. I know that, but, well, it wasn't like we were trying to kick you out. I just thought you could benefit a lot from living on your own. Well, I think you know very well that I never really wanted to move out, but you kept insisting and I finally caved. I didn't want to make things bad between you and my family or us, so that's why I agreed to it. But we all talked about it, remember? My mom said that whomever took care of her would get the house when she passed on. I know, but still. And the deal was basically that you and my brother would get the house, but only in exchange for the hard work of taking care of an elderly woman. Didn't my mom even have you two sign an agreement making that all clear? Did you not realize what you were getting yourself into? I'm sorry, Lauren, but that was pretty irresponsible of you. Yes, I know it was irresponsible. I realize that now, thank you. I was being selfish and I'm sorry, but I am seriously at my limits. So, now that we understand each other, can you please help me out of this mess? Have you talked about this with my brother at all? Because I think he'll be harder to convince. Yeah, I talked to him about it, but he just said that we have to grit our teeth and bear it. But he did say that he'd only be okay with it if you agreed to take our place. I really just don't know what to do with the two of you, but okay, if I'm going to move in and take care of my mom, then you realize that means you two won't get the house, right? So if you're okay with that, then I can move in and take your place. I really, really don't want to be doing this, but I just can't stand the situation any longer. I'll talk to your mom about who'll get the house, though. I just didn't think that taking care of her would be so difficult. Well, okay then, I guess I'll make some arrangements so I can move back there then. Do you think you could send me some more information on how my mom is doing? I just want to make sure to bring everything I'll need to take care of her. Yes, of course I can do this. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much help you're giving us. I'll call Marcus right away. Oh man, it feels so good to finally be free. Thank you, Dee. Hey, Marcus, are you there? I was just wondering if you had arranged all you need to for the funeral. You two are going to be able to make it to that this weekend, right?
Dee, I'm really sorry about this, but we decided that we're not going to go to a funeral, so thanks for reaching out, but yeah.
Wait, you mean you're not going to even go to our mom's funeral?
I just think it would be a waste of money to go all the way there. And it's not like I even got all that much from Mum's will. So I'm not about to just waste what little I did get just to go to a funeral. I mean, soon she'll be cremated and in an urn anyways.
But Marcus, you can't miss this. This is our mom. I can't believe that you're not going to come.
Well, it's not like Mum even had that many friends to begin with, you know, so I doubt there's going to be many people there anyways. So again, I just really don't think it's going to be worth it for me.
Marcus, please. You're being ridiculous. Don't you see that? You can't miss Mom's funeral. She gave birth to us. She raised us. She was there for us our whole lives until now.
Okay. You need to calm down, Dee. Do you really think Mum wants to look down on us and watch us fight like this? Now, I'm the eldest child, which makes me in charge of the family. So you do well to just do as I say.
And just what makes you think that you can boss me around like this, huh? I'm only asking you to show up for the funeral for your last living parent. How is that even close to being a waste of money?
Well, you know that it's not just that, right? I mean, I don't really think you're even the right person to be handling a funeral. After all, we were the ones that were promised Mum's house after she dies, so how about you just pack up your bags, move out already?
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I mean that there's not even going to be a funeral. It's just a waste of time and money.
Marcus, I really don't understand right now. Why did you mention the house?
Why wouldn't I mention the house? You confused about something? The house was always going to belong to Lauren and I. Remember, you gave it up and promised that we could have it. You even signed a document saying that.
No, that was you signing the document, and it said that if you wanted the house, then you needed to take care of Mom. But you two couldn't handle it and ended up asking me to move back in with Mom. You gave up your claim to the house then and there. You realize that, right? And since I was taking care of Mom instead, I'm going to get the house.
I don't remember any of that at all. You're crazy if you think that's how it went. I mean, Lauren and I still have our copy of the contract, so how can you claim the house when I have a piece of paper here saying that we get it?
I don't believe this. You've got to be kidding me. Are you seriously doing this to me right now? You traded places with me, made it so that I would take care of Mom instead of you two, and now you're just going to take the house?
You make it sound like I tricked you. That's not fair. I'm just saying that I've got a contract here that says I get the house. So I think you might want to watch the way you talk to me about this.
Lauren, are you there? I have to ask you something. You do know that I'm getting my mom's house, right? You guys had me move in and take care of my mom until the day she died, so that means I'll inherit the house. I don't know what Marcus is thinking, but he seems to be under the impression that you two are getting it. I'm sorry, Dee, but it sounds like the only person who's got the wrong idea here is you. I never remember telling you that you'd get the house for trading places with us. What? What do you mean? How can you say that? Are you feeling okay? Are you sure you're not just tired since your mom has passed away? I would try to get some rest after all. You need to start packing up all your things to move out for us soon. You two? You've got to be kidding me. This was always your plan, wasn't it? You two were always going to try and steal the house back from me after Mom died, weren't you? You two were trying to run this con on my mom and I from the very start. Well, your mom's dead, so we were only trying to trick you. But man, it really wasn't easy having to take care of that woman. I really thought I would be able to tough it out because of how much I loved that house, but I just couldn't take it after a while, so that's why I had you handle her for me. After all, she is your mom, but to me, she was nothing more than a barrier standing in between me and her house. How can you say something like that? It's just horrible. What is the matter with you? You have no idea what it was like when her dementia started getting really, really bad. I couldn't stand her after that. She was completely incomprehensible. If you weren't ready to take on being there for my mom, then you shouldn't have offered to live with her in the first place. I mean, do you really think that you're going to get away with what you're doing right now? You and my brother have got to be two of the most selfish, duplicitous people I've ever met. Oh, come on. We're not that bad. You're just blowing this all out of proportion. I have every right to be mad at the two of you. I can't believe that you're actually trying to do this. I thought we had an understanding when I agreed to switch places with you and Marcus. So for you two to turn around and try to pull something like this, for you to put all the work of caring for my mom on me and then try and steal the house? I don't care what you say. It's all very clearly laid out in the contract that we signed. After all, I know that your mom was a really rich lady. That's why Marcus and I are going to try and squeeze her will for all it's got. The house, the land, the money, all of it. It'll all be ours. But why do you need it all? Why can't I get my fair share? I mean, you're bringing this way past the house now. You're talking about taking everything and leaving me with practically nothing. Of course we're going to leave you with nothing. The only way to handle a parasite like you is to cut you out as soon as possible. That's why I've asked Marcus to handle kicking you out of the house and making sure that you never come back. You think that I'm the parasite? Are you serious? I can't believe that you're calling me that. For the millionth time, I don't care what you think or how you feel. We have the contract, so the house is ours. Now, why don't you make this easy for all of us? Pack up your bags and go. Your mom is dead, so there's no need to have you around. You took care of her, she's gone, so now get lost. Okay, fine then. I will pack my bags and I will leave. Great. And just remember that you're not getting a penny from your mom's will. You really fell for our trap and didn't even realize it. Thanks to you, Marcus and I have been able to live in peace, knowing that we were always going to have things go our way. Well, if you think I didn't get anything out of this, you're wrong. I've been able to spend really valuable time with my mom during the final years of her life. Well, great then. It sounds to me like this whole thing has been a win-win, and there's no need for you to care about this any longer. So, since you got something nice out of the whole experience, I guess that means that you really don't care if Marcus and I take everything from your mom's will. Oh, yes, of course. You two can do whatever you want. Of course, I think you'll find there's really not that much to take. And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? I mean exactly what I said. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a funeral to plan. Goodbye, Lauren. Hey, Dee, what the heck is going on here? Just what are you trying to pull right now, huh? We had all our things packed up, arrived at the house, and now we can't get inside? It was like someone had changed the locks, and then, after we had to bust our way into our own home, the police were called. Since when did the house get sold? I had no idea about that. The house was sold about 3 years ago, actually. When I moved in to take care of my mom, that was when it happened. Wait, but why am I only hearing about this now? What is going on here? You can't just decide to sell the house without telling us. And what's wrong with that? The house became mine when I agreed to take care of my mom. And since I saw that duty through to the very end, I was able to do what I wanted with it. It's my house and I sold it. Got a problem with that? But it's not your house, it's our house. Well, the whole reason I sold it to begin with is because my mom asked me to. And I don't know why you think you or Marcus should have had anything to do with that conversation when you weren't taking care of her. What do you mean your mom asked you to sell it? Why in the world would she do something like that? You were right about my mom's dementia. It really was getting worse, but she wasn't completely gone. And during the day, she was quite lucid and was able to talk and have a conversation. So she asked me one day to sell the house. She said that she thought it would be best if we sold it and used the money to put her into a nursing home. You were going to use the money from the house to put your mom into a nursing home? Only because that's what she asked of me. She knew that you two really wanted to hold on to the house. But after you two switched with me and the house was going to go to me, she figured that she didn't have to hold it for the two of you any longer. She had actually been wanting to go into a nursing home for quite some time, but she kept her wish quiet from you two because she didn't want to upset you. She was holding back the whole time just for you two, and you still were only trying to use her and me to get what you wanted. But I had no idea. She never told us anything about this. Of course she didn't, but she did to me, and so I did sell the house, and I did put my mom into a home. But that's not fair. You never told us about this at all. Don't you know how hard Marcus and I tried to take care of her? And then you just go and sell the house without telling me? I was only so thankful to you taking over because I thought that you were going to stay there and keep the house clean for us until your mom died. I did what I did because my mom and I thought it might be what's best for her. I figured they would care for her well and be able to respond to any kind of trouble. And they were good. They were patient and gave my mom all the time that she needed to do what she needed to do. But don't even try and pretend that you and Marcus actually cared for my mom. Well, that's rich coming from you. You were the one that put her into a home where the staff did everything. You never took care of your mom at all. My mom told me about how even when she got sick with a terrible cold, you refused to take care of her. And when she needed help in the bathroom, neither you nor Marcus gave her the hand she needed. Besides, you're still forgetting the fact that Mom asked for this. I bet the reason she did ask for this was because you two did such a bad job with her. And just what is that supposed to mean? You don't know anything about what Marcus and I did. Except that my mom kept a diary and wrote about how you and Marcus treated her in it. It's full of nothing but complaints. You mean she kept records on us? Why would she do that? What's the matter with her? Don't you know that keeping a journal is what doctors recommend to help ward off dementia? It's all written there. She writes all about how your treatment of her got worse and worse. You're kidding me. But I had no idea that she was doing this. I didn't know that we were being watched like that. And does that make any of what you did okay? You really thought that you could get away with what you were doing because nobody was looking? Not only that, but you two have the gall to not come to her funeral after all you put her through? Well, if you have anything to say for yourselves, you can tell it to her urn.
Hey, sis. You there? Lauren was catching me up about what you were talking about with the diary and all. I just want you to know that I really had no idea that Lauren was doing this to our mum at all.
Oh, please, I can't believe that you're honestly trying to save your own skin right now. Besides, Mom wrote in her diary about how you and Lauren were awful to her.
Oh, please, Dee. You really don't understand how difficult it was for us taking care of money. It's only now that I see where I could have done better. But I understand the mistakes that I made. I want you to know that I'll happily apologise to Mum's remains. I was selfish and stupid and should never have acted that way. I should never have let Lauren act that way towards our mum either. But surely you have to understand how this has nothing to do with who should be getting what from the will, right? You're brother and sister, so of course we should be splitting everything, don't you think?
What? Are you serious? You really just said all that so you could ask me about money?
Well, money is important. And now that I know you sold the house to put Mum in a home, surely that means you should have money left, right? I never told you about this, but I know that Mum had a ton of money saved up she never touched.
She did? She had money hidden away?
So I guess you don't actually know. But it's true. Mum told me about it one day. She told me that it was for us after she passed away. She even gave me the account information.
Wait, she really did that?
That's right. I put Lauren in charge of taking care of it for us. So you just tell me how much money you still have from selling the house and I'll make sure that we each get our equal share of Mum's money.
Wait a second. You're not talking about that piece of paper with all those different bank accounts on it.
Oh, so Mum did tell you about that. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She spread out her money in different accounts for us, but I think it's well over $1 million.
Marcus, I don't know what to tell you, but that was just a brain training exercise that Mom did. I don't know what account information she gave you, but Mom didn't even have a bank account.
Wait, what? That doesn't even make any sense. Well, what do you mean she didn't have a bank account? Then what information did she give me?
It depends on when you asked her, but it could have just been all in her head. As for the paper with the banks, that was just a practice for her to name 10 of any one thing. Sometimes we did states, other times favorite foods, places she had been to, and banks that she knew. Although Mom was the one who told me about that training, and she said she learned it from you. She wrote in her diary that she was happy because you seemed to be helping her out, and that you suggested she write down 10 different banks, so I guess that's what she did.
That's not what I was telling you to do at all.
Well, I don't know what you mean to say. She had dementia.
But I don't understand. This can't be happening. I thought she had money hidden away. I quit my job thinking I'd get this.
You quit your job for money that didn't really exist?
Well, I thought it did. Please, you have to tell me how much you got from the house. I deserve half of it.
I'm sorry, but there's no money left anyways, and you're not getting anything. The nursing home I sent Mom to was a very nice one, and it cost quite a bit of money. By the final year she was there, I was using some of my own money to help support her, actually.
So then, there's nothing? There's no money? No will? No assets? Nothing?
That's right, but anyways, since we have that cleared up, I wouldn't bother coming over to see Mom. Sounds to me like you and Lauren have much bigger problems to talk about. Anyways, have a nice life. And so that's how I found out that both Lauren and Marcus had quit their jobs in the expectation of a big payout that was never going to come. With all of their things packed up and ready to move into a new place, though, they were able to find an apartment and move in. I hear that they also quickly had to find jobs, but because they didn't have time to go through the whole hiring process, just took the first jobs they could get. They tried begging me for help, but I ended up blocking them on everything. I also made sure to tell the rest of our family of the horrible way they treated my mom. I haven't heard a word from either of them since, and that's just fine with me. Now I'm living in my own home with my mom's urn on a mantle, watching over me.